Let me come to Buster and Fafi, for instance. They're younger people, Isaac.
Mhm.
They're in the 40s. The young people who look at them and watch them and listen to them. Buster started this Buzz entertainment media that is going to grow into becoming a humongous media empire for Liberia and for West Africa with its baseline in the United States, and then he will go back in the homeland. Automatically, he becomes a leader. Is he a positional leader? Not necessarily, but he's an influential leader because young people want to listen to his show. And we have a lot of young people watching his show today because of his youthful exuberance. So, can we encourage Buster and Vafi and the rest of the young people who are in influential positions, not necessarily in positional leadership roles, to become to live as examples to their generation? After somebody, the reason why you see Buster, I never had a hair on my head from 2002 up to just 2 weeks ago. I just started growing my hair. I just want people to know that I get gray hair too. And you understand the situation. Every day projecting your ball because you're having a reclining hairline. I said, no, I'm having reclining hairline. I did it because I wanted to save myself some money. At one point in time, I have four boys in the house, plus myself five. And every time one to do our hair, we spend more than $100 at one
Yeah.
stretch. And
It
money
tell it
and
tell
money
the
was
father
not
I for
coming.
the have a haircut here.
Now I'm talking about in 2002. Now it's going up to $40. I want to cut my hair the other day. I had to pay $40 when I did the tipping.
Yeah.
It was almost $50.
Mine is
Yeah.
But
$65.
what I'm saying is that we should encourage
You
the
understand
likes
how
of
much Buster
Buster.
65 have?
$65. 65. So if I take four boys, 65, you tell me.
Yeah, that's
You better get your own papers now.
that one 30 times two. That's 260. And you got to do your hair twice. You got to cut your hair twice a month. If you're doing 260 one time, that 520 for the month. You multiply that by 1 year, that's 6,000 and change. So
Hmm.
what I want to say with the positivity in our psychology is to encourage the likes of Buster, who has a radio station, who has a television station, even though he's not in a position of authority, but he's in an influential authority position, to start to live good so that other younger people can follow through on him. As much as our children, and the first person the child will look up to will be the parent, but they also most times will look up to people who are closer to them in their age range. So our children will listen to us. In some of the instances, they might listen to us because of the way they feel that, oh, if I listen to my papa will just take me to be disrespectful and the rest of it. But they will listen more and they will be content with what a positive young man the condition will have to be delivered. Because when you're doing those things, Isaac, and everybody listening to me here, you're going to take away some of your authority. You're taking away some of your authority and practically giving it to the person you want your children to listen to, your parental authority. The person is not going to be the parent of your children, but some authority into influencing your child or your children, your nieces, your nephews into doing the right thing. You'll be taking some of those responsibilities and those authorities away from you and giving it to that individual. Many people, and as you know, you saw this when we were growing up in the 80s on Bida. Many people would tend to gravitate towards somebody who is closest to them in age proximity.
Mhm.
We'll listen to our woman and our parent because even the way you will not get your school fee to come to school the next semester. You understand the situation? So,
Definitely, definitely.
so there are lots of different things that we need to do over time. Can we do them one day? No. Are we late in doing them? Yes. But it's better to be late than not to start at all. That's like my book title said, I arrived later. So what? I'm also here. We have to be here to do those things that need to be done now. And Vavi is coming on. So the young people will look up to them. People who are in their 30s, 20s, they will look up to these 40-year-olds. Then they will look up to Isaac. You 1,000 year already. You just like dinosaurs, Melanie like dinosaurs. The young people, yeah, they will look
I
at
read
us. They will
dinosaur
talk to
you.
us.
I read dinosaur you. And I read
Okay,
dinosaur.
okay. You must be acting
I
like
read
you're
dinosaur
not
you.
dinosaur. I can see you
I
when
can
you're
hang on.
walking.
People, no people that, but and it's a good thing when you grow up playing sport. People that value them, eh? I agree with you. I just cracking some little joke, but not
I
dinosaur.
know.
People that value they can make me young. You know what I'm saying? They make me stay go to the gym, make me stay run. Right now they make me stay exercise because, huh?
Yeah,
We gotta keep talking to them. Valley and Buster, from what I have put a challenge to you. That's something we took upon ourselves to do. To go to the park and talk to the young people. Most people don't know. We're not doing it because we want their leadership. Even the OLM didn't know. A lot of people didn't know why that we were doing this thing, but we're doing this thing because we care for the direction of our diaspora youth. And they used to always say, the people don't come to us. So that's a good challenge he put out to you, the young people. They will listen to you better than Kpangbala and myself. They might listen to us, but you guys have the medium, which is Boss Media. You guys can be very influential in helping those young people that we used to talk to in the park. It's a good challenge. Thank you for putting it out to them. Okay. And we hold them responsible for that thing. Okay. But I'll be looking up to them. Time is coming. I give them 1 year to
and
access them.
and just these are just two people, two younger people in the country, but they can serve as the catalyst to begin a revolution that will better off a lot of young people. So people who are under our voice today, for instance, they're in Canada, or they're in Liberia, or they're in Australia. They can start to set up cells, because everything is about government, 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 government. It will rely on government. Hey man, in 1 week's time, I will be 61. According to the life expectancy in Liberia, the life expectancy for men in Liberia is 56, and I'm 61, so I'm living on borrowed time. According to life expectancy in the United States, is 76 for men. I'm 61 in a couple of days from now. So I got 15 years to live according to the life expectancy rating based on the Department of may I call it the Census Bureau. But for younger people, they can better generate the direction of other younger people in a direction that will be positive. And as we continue this conversation, let's not run away from the issue of drug and alcohol. When one of the things that happened with us who are in the developed countries, when our children or when other people connected to us are involved in wayward activities, or they are involved in things that will lead to massive drug use and the rest of it, we pack them out and say we send them to Africa. Where they got treatment in the United States, we ain't treat them here.
I
We
tell
send
you,
to like, bro, where there's no treatment. So you just taking something from the frying pan, you put it in the fire to go burn up and die. Oh, you misbehaving? I will just send you to Liberia. You telling the person literally, I am going to be the one that will kill you. And I know people will say, oh, because you're a psychologist and that's why you're saying the way you're saying it. Yeah. If I wasn't a psychologist, we need to work with our young people, whether in this country or in Africa. But we need to work with our young people to ensuring that they understand the negativities of using drugs. They understand the negativities of using alcohol and the rest of it. Those things destroy the cells, the brain cells. And depending on the drug of choice, they might end up becoming psychotic. The last one in that direction is that because we want Liberia to get better off, we have to create a condition where the human capital resource, which is the most significant resource of all the resources that we have as a country, we have to make sure we guide it jealously. So I will not go somewhere and see Buster or Vafi doing something that would destroy them. And then instead of me telling them, man, you guys are my sons, or okay, my liberator, my sons, or you're my nephew, and all that. Fafi, I got something I will tell you later on after the conversation. Anyways, I don't have to. We don't have to stop talking. We don't have to, Isaac. And this does not mean professionals. You don't have to be a therapist. You don't have to be economist. You don't have to be. You don't have to be a accountant. You don't have to be a public figure. We, the generation that is ahead of the generation before us, cannot stop talking. Let the people say, "Man, you guys just complaining whole day." Like I always tell my patients, it's better for you to say, thank God I listened to my pop, thank God I listened to my mom, than for you to say, I wish I had listened to my parents. When somebody says, I wish I had listened to my parents, it means that they have gone on the wrong track. When somebody says, thank God I listened to my parents or my older relatives and other things, it means that they are progressing. That's why we always say mama knows it best. Who told you our mom know everything best? But because of the love and genuineness of what mom tells us, especially since we are men as panelists here, when something happens to you, even if you don't shout it out, who is the first person you think about? And your mom? If
Yeah.
my mom were here, she would do it. So we as adults, in this case men, adult men, we have to be adults in the lives of our children. Let's talk to our children. But it's not just talking, Isaac, Vafi, or Buster, and the rest of you who listen to me. It's also acting. Isaac, once upon a time, our level of getting with guys, the people who are listening to us, we need to call it heated. I mean, we need to get drunk when we're in school. And
But man,
I mean,
there's not a forum
excessively.
for that kind of thing.
I
No.
mean, but when I got ready to walk away from it, I walked away from it. My house, wherever I live, I don't encourage people carrying alcohol to my house. When some of the guys who were acquaintances and friends of mine would say, "Oh, my man, you want to guide us? You wanted us what to do and what not to do?" I said, "No, but this is my home." So we just need to not just say it; we need to act it. Especially for us in the diaspora as Liberians, and for us as Liberians even on the home front. We have a lot of responsibility to do it. Everything we talk about, government is not doing this, government is not doing that. What are we doing in our little corner in Nikutown, in Logantown, in Douala, or what are we doing in Bijo Town, or even in Sacrepe?